Hello and good morning. This is KWEXL Radio, and I am your host with the most from the left coast. That's right, the best coast, Neon Black Chevelle. And this is Takeover Tuesday. So, about Takeover Tuesday, uh, we take over your Tuesday, and I have someone take over my Tuesday. Give them the mic, give them the floor, and we just have some pretty real conversations and real topics. With that being said, today's special guest on Takeover Tuesday, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He is the owner of the number one wedding officiant in California. He has over 20 years of experience. He has uh, hosted thousands of ceremonies, and he's a speaker, industry educator, and apparently a great storyteller. You may have seen him on the Kelly Clarkson show. If you've heard of Say Yes to the Dress or 90 Day Fiance, or even the prank panel, and you probably have heard his name. And it goes by the name of Alan Katz. So, what we're going to do here, we've been doing it this way for the past couple episodes. I'm going to go ahead and call up Mr. Katz and see if we can get him on the line this morning. Again, this is Takeover Tuesday, only on KWEXL Radio, and I'm Chevelle.
Thank you for calling for ceremonies and entertainment. Your call is being connected to one of our associates.
Hey, this is Alan.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Alan Katz. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Not too shabby. How about yourself?
Hey, it's a beautiful day here in SoCal.
I heard that. That's SoCal weather. I'm from Oakland, so just 5 hours north via car.
We won't hold that against you.
Oh, see, I knew it. Thank you for tuning in today on KWEXL. That'll be our show. but
Have a good day.
right. So no, I'm excited to have you, man. Thank you for taking over our Tuesday and just hanging out with me a little bit this morning.
I love to do takeovers, you know?
I heard that. Well, without
And I love popovers. And anything that's over, I'm all about.
everything that's over except
The only thing I don't
overdrafts.
like is when the interview is over. That's the thing I don't like. So,
Really? Then reality sets in, huh?
that's right.
All right. Well, without further ado, I know you're a very busy man. So, Alan Katz. Wow. So, what everyone wants to know is how did you have a hand in Say Yes to the Dress and the 90 Day Fiance and the prank panel and all of that?
Oh gosh. I'm all about. I made my TV debut when I was 16 years old on the Gong Show, and ever since then, I've always wanted to be a celebrity, and I found my own version of celebrity. Tried to make it in the big leagues, but I have my own little corner of the industry. So I'm very big in the wedding industry. I'm very well known in the wedding industry. I'm like the wedding singer of the wedding officiating industry. So when I see posts for these places that are, these shows that are doing stuff, I'm always reaching out and saying, hey, this is what I do. This is what I can do. Uh, but the one I treasure the most was the prank panel with Johnny Knoxville and Eric Andre and Gabby Sibidet. For me, that was my triumph. Uh, I don't know if you know about the show or had watched the show at all.
The prank panel, as far as I know, I thought that was with the 3 to 4 guys and they're going to different businesses and pranking each other. But the prank panel you're talking
No,
about
actually,
is
prank
Johnny
panel.
Knoxville. Okay.
Yeah, prank panel is a little different. Prank panel is basically Shark Tank meets Punked.
Huh.
So I had to go up in front of Johnny Knoxville, Eric Andre, and Gabby Sibidet and suggest a prank. And I wanted to prank my wife. And she does weddings like I do. I now pronounce you married. And so I said to them, look, I want to prank my wife. I want to set up this fake wedding for her. And at the end, something disastrous happens.
Oh, wow.
So Johnny Knoxville says to me, I want to take your prank. so for the next 3 months, Johnny Knoxville and I and the writers put together this amazing prank against my wife, and it ended up being the top prank of the entire series. Um, Basically, what happened in it is things kept going wrong from the beginning. The cake kept getting knocked over, the champagne spilled all over the best man, and then when she's in the middle of the ceremony, she realizes that she just married a brother and sister.
Wait, what? Okay.
And as the ceremony concludes, one of their uncles starts singing, "We're keeping it in the family." And she just walks out kind of dazed and goes up to the wedding planner and goes, "What's going on?" And then one of the servers catches on fire and has to put himself out in the punch bowl. So my wife is like freaking out. Everything's going wrong. This is just the worst thing ever. And then they bring me in handcuffs. And with the county clerk saying, you've just married a brother and sister. You violated the law. You're going to jail. And she starts freaking out. And then we kind of get her right to the edge of sanity and then go, "Don't worry, honey, because it's just a TV show. We're pranking you." And she just loses it. And I told them that she would start pounding on my chest, and she did. And then Johnny Knoxville comes out. And I go, "Look," and she loves Johnny Knoxville. And I bring Johnny Knoxville out, and she walks up to him and she goes, "Are you real?" She goes, "I'm always afraid you're going to die on your show." And
right.
And Johnny loved it.
Wow.
We ended up having our own special. It was just an amazing experience. We talk about it all the time.
And that's on the prank panel. Would you happen to remember which episode that was, so we all can go and find it?
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Yeah, we're the first episode.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. So you said your wife, and I remember you saying, touching a little bit about marrying or proposing to her on the end of the Survival series.
Yes. Yeah, we are big Survivor fans. All right. In fact, we're totally engrossed in season 50 right now. We're the hugest fans. And I ended up doing a ceremony for somebody who worked for the Survivor show. So back when they were doing the live shows, I said, "Please get me some tickets." So he got me some tickets. It's the hardest ticket to get.
Wow.
And so right before the show went live, I'd been planning this and planning this. I needed some place to propose to her that would be different than anybody else could ever do.
Of course.
And so about 5 minutes before they went live, I'm like, "Let's walk down to the stage and let's check out the set." So we walked down to the front of the stage, and then in front of the entire studio audience, I got down on one knee and proposed to her.
Man, that's beautiful. Man.
And
That's
the entire studio audience erupted in applause.
awesome.
And
awesome.
And she said yes.
Well, yeah, we all were rooting for you. So when it comes to Alan Katz, what is something that you want people to know about you and how you, basically about what it took for you to get to where you are today?
You know what? I go back and I always say I blame it on cancer. I survived cancer. I had thyroid cancer, and I survived that, and that's what 20 years ago almost.
Wow.
And I realized at that point that I needed to change my life. I was just going on from job to job, never really, finding a career.
Right.
And when I started doing weddings, I'm like, this is my way of creating a legacy. I don't want to die. If I'm going to die from cancer, I don't want to die just being some guy who was, nobody.
Yeah.
I wanted to die being known that I am a celebrity in people's lives, that I made a difference in people's lives. So every day I live my life knowing that tomorrow I could die from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to have fun wherever I go.
Wow.
And I try to make people around me have fun. Wherever I show up, I make people laugh. So there's some little memory of me in everybody who I've met, every life who I've touched legally. And sad joke there.
No, you're good.
But I just, it's weird. It's weird how cancer can change you. Because when you're staring death in the face and knowing that you may never walk this earth again, you want to make every moment on earth amazing.
Wow. What was how long have you been cancer free?
And I've seen people with that same diagnosis who've taken it the other way, who they want to make everybody's life miserable.
Oh
But
gosh.
I took a different tack.
Isn't that a
And
trip
I'll
how
tell you
there are
what, it
people
has
out there like
served
that?
me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that can tweak your brain. I mean, it's a hard thing to come back from.
Mm.
But I had a support group around me. I had friends. I had family who believed in me, who cared about me. And I said, I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to make this the best frickin' life ever. And I'm the hardest working person I know. I work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But I'm also the funnest person I know.
Hmm.
That we go out to concerts. Last night we went to the most amazing show.
Oh yeah, who played?
Here in Southern California, it's the Netflix comedy series, and there's comedians all over Southern California just doing amazing live shows. But last night was the tribute to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, or Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Hmm.
And so all of these great performers who had been on the show or had played music for the show, like Danny Elfman came out and played music. The B-52s, Devo came out. Some great comedians. Patton Oswalt was the host. And it was just the most amazing, fun tribute to one of the best shows ever. And we got to experience that.
That's awesome.
And so the big thing I've learned is work-life balance. If you work hard, you got to play hard.
Okay. All right. I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, if you're gonna work hard, you got to play hard. What's that old saying from The Shining? I think it's The Shining, right? He says,
"All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy." Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wow. How long have you been cancer free now?
Almost 20 years.
So I imagine when you were fighting the fight, you switched up your eating habits and all of that.
I switched up everything.
Right.
We all fall back into our patterns, but I decided I would never smoke cigarettes again. I would never drink alcohol again, because I've seen my friends who got diagnosed with cancer and were alcoholics and got a little better and then went back to their alcohol, and it just destroyed their life.
Man.
And they died.
Wow.
So I said, at least I'm going to lead a cleaner life. I'm never going to smoke cigarettes. I'm never going to drink alcohol.
And you've been sticking by that.
I'm going to lead a fairly clean life. Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
and I'll tell you what, it's kept me young. I'm 65. I don't look 65. I don't act 65.
I would
I
have
act
not
like
guessed.
I'm 30.
Yeah. I would not have guessed that you were in your 60s. Wow. Okay. So
I know, believe me, I don't believe it either. I look at my birth certificate and I go, this is a lie.
Have you heard of, I forget what it's called, but there's something where they can perform some type of like they basically like measure you internally, and what I mean by that is say
see what your likelihood of dying is, right?
No, no, not that. It's so you said you're in your 60s, right? But your body chemistry or whatnot, you might be in your 40s. I have to remember.
Most probably.
Called. Yeah.
I think it's not as much body as it is mind.
Okay. The mind is very powerful. I'll give you that.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? And I've learned through a lot of trials and things of how to condition your mind to make you believe. If I went up to you and I walked up to you and I said, "Wow, are you sick? You look a little ill today." No, I'm not sick. And then somebody else walked up to you, "Wow, you're looking kind of sick." No, I'm not sick. By the time the third person walked up to you, "Are you feeling okay? You don't look well." All of a sudden your brain switches into that function going, "You know what, maybe I'm sick," and you start manifesting those feelings.
Yeah.
But if you do it the other way, if you tell your mind, you tell your life that you're amazing, then you're going to be amazing. Your mind is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
And I know I'm getting deep here.
Nah, please. This is Takeover Tuesday, Alan. You got it. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Oh, sweet. Oh, believe me, don't put a mic in front of me. I'm a crazy man. You know,
That's perfect. Let's turn you up a little bit.
I make my living standing in front of people holding a microphone. I mean, that's what I do every single day. You know, when I'm performing wedding ceremonies,
Right.
and I look at what I do as not a wedding. I look at it as I'm putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the host. I'm the MC for their ceremony. They're the stars. I'm the announcer. Their wedding party is a supporting cast.
Mm-hmm.
Their guests are their audience.
Mm.
I'm up there to perform the most amazing show with them, and at the end, they have their wrap party.
So, speaking of which, I was doing a little research right before this, and I saw that Los Angeles County had proposed nearly doubling marriage license fees from about
Yes, they did.
$91 to around 176 to 200. Um, I see that you had that put on pause. You and other associates in the same industry had that put on pause, and so I did a little more research in to see if it passed, and it did not pass, and it still has
Did
not
not.
passed. Correct?
That is correct. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, we find out that they're raising these prices. So me and some of the other wedding chapels decided, look, we need to take a stand. And I'm the conduit between the county and all the other people. I'm technically the spokesman for all the wedding chapels because I'm a speaker. I'm a debater. I have political,
Okay.
backwash.
Yeah.
So I know how to play the game. So I put together basically a protest, and we went down to City Hall, and I played it in the news, and I got news people to cover it, and created a compelling argument on why what the county was doing was absolutely wrong. And I played it to them, and I got every county clerk or every county commissioner on board with me to say, look, this is not going to fly, and this is gonna destroy the industry. And I got so much pressure put on the head of the county clerk's office that the day it was supposed to be proposed for vote, he pulled it.
I mean, what's that
And
about? Do they just wake up one day and, well, let's see what we can raise the bill on today?
they hadn't done it in so many years, they were negligent in doing that. And because they did that, they never, they could have gone incrementally, every couple of years. Hey, government fees change, but
Right.
the head of the county clerk's office didn't do that. Yeah, I'm thankful that he didn't do that. But what it did is it really put this situation to where it happened. So it now went back to the drawing board. And I've been in constant communication with the county board of supervisors point person that when they did redo their budget, I would be the first one to know, so I could check out what it was if their new proposal was great. We know that there has to be a raise.
Right.
We know that the marriage license fees have to go up, but to double it, it would severely cripple the wedding industry in this county.
Yeah.
And the neighboring counties would be half that price. All those people would go there. They didn't take that into consideration.
Right.
In fact, one of the other counties was blatantly mocking them, saying, ha ha ha, you're going to lose it. Everybody come here. They were doing ad campaigns. Come to Orange County and get your marriage
Wow.
license instead.
Uh-huh.
And then I put a stop to that. So now I have two county clerks who hate me.
Wow.
But you know what? What was crazy is, for me, it could have been a windfall. Because all the other businesses, all the other people who are doing what I'm doing, it would have shuttered them, and I would have been the sole survivor. But I don't play that game.
Right.
It's
You're a
not
team
about
player.
just me. It's about the people in my county. It's about the people who I serve. Yes, I would have benefited greatly by losing all my competition, but that's not who I am.
No, good for you. Good on you on that as well. No, that says a lot about your character, because they're especially nowadays in 2026. Yeah, it's all about me, myself, and I when it comes to a lot of things, unfortunately, and a lot of people. So no, that's great. And L.A. County,
I'll tell you something. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, which is also it's pretty darn expensive out there already as it is. So, upping the
Yeah.
bill on something like that, like where people are basically making an outward showing that, yeah, I want to do this, at least if not to the masses, but to each other, saying, hey, I want a ceremony that's going to officiate this. Our commitment to each other. So yeah, no, that's a wonderful thing that you've done.
Oh yeah, and one of the things that they were doing is they were raising the confidential marriage license price much higher. And the confidential license is something that California does where nobody has access to the record. So a lot of the people who use it, actually, I suggest most people use the confidential license. But for people who are dealing with, domestic violence issues and they don't want their exes to find out about their marriage,
Hmm.
or their ex-boyfriends or ex-husbands, that they priced it so high that now they couldn't afford that protection
Mm-hmm.
of the confidential license, and it would have hurt so many people.
Yeah. No,
I want
absolutely.
to go back to something that happened during COVID.
Go for it.
When COVID happened, they closed all the county clerk's offices. Nobody could get a marriage license, and so back then I activated what I had to do to get the county to reopen, utilizing their notaries, me, myself, and the other notaries in town. Now, my competition was out there and selling stuff for ungodly rates, 5 times, 10 times the normal fee.
Mm-hmm.
And they were ripping people off. And I wasn't going to do that. I was going to price it the same price that it was before COVID.
Okay.
What that did to my wife is my wife looked at me and she goes, I love you so much because of this.
Hmm.
Because you could have gone the way everybody else did and raised the prices
Yeah.
and ripped people off, but you chose not to. She goes, I will love you forever because I found out the person who you really are.
Get that. Shoot. And how many years into the marriage was that?
Um, that was, well, let's see, we've been married for three 3 years, so it was like 2 years, 3 years into our relationship. We've only been married 3 years. I actually met her at a wedding.
Oh. Was she
She
working or
she
was
was
she a
the
guest?
bride.
Oh, wait, wait,
No,
wait,
she was
wait.
the bride.
What?
She came to me for counseling. She came to my office. We ended up hooking up in her office. No, that didn't happen. I'm just messing with you. Uh,
I will clip that. No, I just.
no, actually, I got booked on this wedding last minute. The officiant backed out, and she got invited that morning because her roommate broke up with her boyfriend and took her as a plus one hour before the wedding.
Mhm.
So we both converged in the same space, and I walk into this room and I see this table of women, and they're all Filipino because it was a Filipino wedding.
Okay.
And I walk up to this table, just start talking to them, and this one just sticks out to me, and I can't stop looking at her throughout the ceremony. And afterwards, I go up to her and I start talking to her, and I take a selfie, and I say, "Yeah, let me text this to you." And she texted me back 5 hours later. We went out on one date. We fell in love, and now we work side by side every single day.
Is your wife Filipina?
She is.
Oh, okay, okay. Does she first of all, does she cook? And if she does she cook the traditional uh, Filipino dishes?
She does. I'm a better cook than she is.
Uh
Her
oh.
sister's a better cook than I am for
Really?
the Filipino dishes.
Okay.
But oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
And the
yes,
reason
I've
why I
definitely
ask
been
is,
indoctrinated in this.
oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah. No,
Why?
no, no, no. The reason why I ask is because I'm a merchant mariner outside of this, so I ride ships for a living, and I work with a lot of Filipinos, and I am no stranger to Filipino cuisine. It's absolutely delicious. That's why I was asking. You are eating good,
Oh,
sir.
absolutely. Oh, no, I love it. They do occasionally make some weird stuff that I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to eat this dried fish salad.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like,
Have you had the squid adobo?
I haven't had the squid adobo yet, but I make a pretty mean adobo, so I'm
Really?
not going to lie.
Okay, okay.
I make this one dish. My favorite dish to make is it's called Bicol Express, and it's made with coconut milk and pork, and oh, it's so good.
Oh man, you got me salivating just listening to it. So let's go
I
back a
know.
little bit to so when you're officiating these weddings, right? That's what it's called. You're an officiant, and You officiate these weddings. Um, you know the part where they say, if anyone has anything to say, speak up now or forever hold your peace. Has anyone ever in your, 20 years of experience, has anyone ever stood up and was like, I object, and this is why?
Well, I'll tell you a couple cool stories from that. That's not ever really required.
Huh.
when I say that, I say, if there's anybody here who has reason they should not be united, there's the door, there's the cliff, go jump off. There's the exit.
Right.
So I kind of make it a funny bit. But one time I set it up with a couple, and they had plants in the audience. I'm like, if there's anyone here who has just cause why this couple should not be united, and then one person set up, I object, I slept with the bride.
Oh.
And like the groom was like looking, what? And these were all plants. Nobody knew about it.
Gotcha.
Right? And they were all fake plants. And then somebody else, another guy stood up, I slept with the bride. And then this old lady stood up, I slept with the bride. And then all of a sudden they realized that it was all a big joke, and then we continued with the ceremony.
Man, I know he was sweating after the first two guys, though. Like, no.
Oh, no. So I love to prank my couples. One of my favorite pranks to do is, say they met on Match.com.
Okay.
And so I talk about them meeting at Match.com at the beginning of the ceremony. And then toward the end of the ceremony, I go, so I got a special surprise for you. When you were in my office and I was telling you were telling me about Match.com, and I told you that I'll reach out to them and tell them all about your story. Well, I did. And it just so happens that the vice president of Match.com, Jim Thompson, lives here in town. And he asked if he could say a few words at the ceremony. He's in the back. I'm going to bring him up right now. Jim Thompson, please come up. And I step out of the way. And everybody looks toward the back of the audience, and they're clapping. Oh, my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then I step back in. I'm like, yeah, wouldn't that be great if I made that happen?
This guy.
And they're all, oh, you got us. You got us. And it gets everybody. And
it's just a good time.
It's a good prank. Or if they like a certain celebrity, I'm like, oh, my God, I know that celebrity. We went through acting school together. We hang out all the time. I'll see if he can come to the wedding. And then I do the same prank. It's like, yeah, I've never met the guy in my life.
Right. So you haven't always done this. You said you've done quite a few things before this. Because you said work-life balance. You've telegram singing? You want to expand on that?
I have a singing telegram business.
Yeah. Oh, you still have that?
Yeah. I still have that. I still do that. I did 2 last weekend. Basically, I have about 15 different characters I do. Elvis, Austin Powers. I do a great Marilyn Monroe, a Sinatra, all sorts of different things. And people find my website, they fill out a little form and go, yeah, I want to send a singing telegram to so-and-so. And I get all the details, and I show up and whatever character I'm at, and sing some songs, do a little roast, and then go.
What's your favorite
character?
Love it. What's your favorite character to do?
I love doing Elvis. I'm great Elvis impersonator, but I'm a silly Elvis impersonator. I love doing Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. Emphasis on the Monroe.
Monroe, yes. And I did a wedding as that actually once.
Really?
And it was crazy. Yeah.
Sure, that was a hit.
And it's fun. Okay, so you want to hear one of my favorite stories?
Of course. This is Takeover Tuesday, man.
It's Takeover Tuesday, I know. So I get a call from this lady. She goes, I'd like to send a singing telegram. I'd like to send a singing telegram to my husband. I'm like, okay, great. So tell me, what's the event? She goes, well, I just found out my husband was cheating on me, and I want to send a singing telegram to his mistress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. She goes, come by my house. I have some things for you to take. So I go to her house. She gives me a bouquet of balloons, a bouquet of flowers. She gave me 50 Xerox copy of the love letter that she found in his pocket from this woman at his office.
Damn, 50 letters in a pocket.
She goes, and then, yes, a love letter. She found a love letter from this girl at his office.
Mm.
So she wants me now to confront this woman with those things, and she gave me a portrait of the husband and wife and their brand new baby
Mm.
Just take this to her office, let her know I know, and sing her a song to let her know I know. I'm like, I can do this. So I show up at the office, and it's one of those security offices where you have to get buzzed in.
Uh-huh.
So the security guard goes, I go, yeah, I'm here to see Cindy. He's like, oh, is it a surprise? I'm like, yep, it's a surprise. So he buzzes me in. He goes, she's in the back corner. So by the time I walk in and everybody sees me with the balloons and the flowers, they follow me over to her desk.
Oh, gosh.
And I go up to her and I go, hey, are you Cindy? And she's like, yeah. I go, well, I have a singing telegram for you. Do you know a guy named Randy?
Oh,
And
God.
she's like, yeah. I go, I'll bet you and Randy have this special relationship.
Oh, my
And she's
God.
like, yeah, but why are you here? I go, I have a singing telegram for you. But it's not from Randy. It's from Randy's wife.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, shit. Oh, shoot. And all of a sudden, I don't know if you have to put your finger on the button there.
No,
And
you're
all of a
good, you're
sudden,
good.
everyone in the back's going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I go, I got this song that I've written just for you. And it goes like this. Well, you messed up their life. You took this man. He's got a wife and they've got a kid. How could you do what you did? You messed up their life. And then I take a portrait out and I hand it to her. I go, look, here's a lovely portrait of the family you destroyed. Well,
Oh.
have a nice day. And on the way out, I passed out the copies of the love letter and ran on out the
Oh,
office.
what? Oh, man, that's one of those. Well, what's for lunch? Gosh.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
what? So, did you get any flack, anything from her after that, or from
No, I
the
called
husband?
up the wife. I got out of there as quick as possible.
Right.
I called up the wife and I go, okay, yeah, it's done. And I told her what I did. She goes, perfect, thank you. And all I can imagine is all of his stuff was on the lawn when he came home.
Yeah, if not
Yeah.
incinerated already. Gosh.
Yeah.
That is wild. So when you do that,
Yep.
the other person can't
Uh-huh.
seek legal action or anything?
Not yet.
They kind of just take it on the chin, huh?
Yeah, most of them are usually pretty loving.
Right.
It's
right.
like, I've been sent here to sing you some songs and tell them how much you love them. I had one that I knocked on the door, and I'm like, yeah, hey, I was singing telegram you, and she yells, from who? I go, from whoever the name was.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh my God, he's stalking me. He's trying to get a hold of me. I don't like this guy. Tell him to leave me alone. I'm like, well, I still have to sing the song. So with the door shut, I sang the song in front of the door.
Oh,
Okay, thank you. And I left the flowers at the doorstep and left.
Wait, not her still standing on the other side of the door listening to it.
I have no idea where she was, but I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, no, I'm
What
saying.
I got paid to do. So.
No, I'm saying, but she said, okay, thank you. So, yeah, that means she stood there and listened.
It's possible. I really have no idea.
That is a toxic relationship. What were you going to say?
I used to, sometimes I would have to take when my kids were young, I would have to take them with me when I had them for the weekend, and so I would do comedy stripograms.
Huh.
And so this is how I messed up my kids. All right, so they drive with me to a location, and I go, okay, you two stay in the car. They go, what are you going to do, Daddy? I go, well, Daddy has to take off his clothes and get money so we can have money for dinner. Okay, Daddy, have a good time. And then I'd go in and they'd go, did you get a lot of money? And I start pulling it out of my waistline. And I'm like, yeah, here, you each get some. Okay, I messed up my kids.
It builds character like eating burnt toast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Although, speaking of my kids, I do have two amazing kids. I have a trans kid.
Okay.
And that was, I knew my younger one was, gonna be gay when she was very young.
Okay.
When she was, in like 10, 11, I knew that she was different. And when she came out, I'm like, really? What I would do though is I would take her with me to like gay rights protests.
Mm-hmm.
And I would really get involved in the LGBTQ community to show support because
Right.
I knew that that was going to be needed. And I knew I needed to show that to my kid, that I was there to support and understand that when she was ready to come out, that she knew she had an advocate and somebody she could come to.
Okay. So it sounds like you handled that situation rather well.
I handled it the way people should handle it, with support and love and caring about your child.
Understood. How did
And
your wife handle that?
and then the kid came out as trans. That kind of blew me away because I wasn't expecting that. But you know what? I always wanted a son, and
There you
I
go.
got my wish.
There you go.
So so
Did your wife handle that as in a similar way as you did?
graciously, she was a little confused at first, but she embraced it.
Okay.
But when I remember we were having a Passover dinner, and I said these words. I said, whoever you end up loving, whether it's a guy or a girl, and all of the relatives at the table were like, "Oh, how could you say that?" I'm like, "You'll see."
Hmm.
But I set the record early on that no matter what happens, I was going to love my kid.
And your children are half Filipino, half. Are you? What's your
No,
ethnicity?
they're from my first wife. My
Ah,
first
okay,
wife.
okay. So how did the family as a whole kind of take that news when your child came out as trans?
Some of them understood. Some of them just don't get it. Some of them still call her her.
Uh huh.
You know, went from Shelby Elizabeth Katz to Dan Trouble Floyd.
Okay.
Like, how
Oh,
did you come up with Dan Trouble Floyd?
yeah. And you
Because,
got
well,
rid of
everybody
the
always called
cats,
me
huh?
Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan.
Yeah. And she goes, and I'm always in trouble, and I love Pink Floyd. So I'm like, okay, you're Dan Trouble Floyd.
Yeah, that answers my
And
question.
yeah,
And you said you have
yeah.
two kids?
So 2 kids.
Oh, okay. And how's
My
the
older one is now a great mom. She has a 1.5-year-old. I'm going out to dinner with them tonight, so I get to see my grandkid, and I'm very excited about that.
awesome. What has it been like making that transition as far as being a granddad? This is your first grandchild?
That I know of, yeah. No, wait, that doesn't work. Yeah, yes, yeah. I honestly, I love it. I wish I could spend more time with them. Um, that's you know, that's something because I'm so busy.
Yeah.
And I try to have the work-life balance, so I have to have work-life and grandparent, responsibilities. So
Yeah. How do you handle that? Like, do you take work home with you a lot of the times, or after a certain hour, you're like, you know what? No matter what's going on, if it's not an emergency as far as dealing with work, after a certain hour, my phone is off or whatnot.
I'm 24/7.
Okay.
We have a wedding chapel that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
So my my favorite call is I get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I want to get married tonight. So I'm like, all right,
Hmm.
let's pre-qualify you, make sure that you meet all the qualifications to get your license and ceremony. And they did. And so I go, okay, I'll see you at my office at 4 a.m. So I'm sitting behind the desk, and they're in front of me. I'm like, so why are you getting married at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Hmm.
And she says, he has to report to prison at 6.
Okay. Okay.
So he was going in, so they wanted to get married before he ended up going to prison. He
Huh.
had to turn himself in.
Well, all right. So that leads me to the question: if he was not going to prison, would you not be marrying this man?
I'm not here to judge my couples. I'm here to judge whether the money they give me is correct.
So no premarital counseling or anything like that going on.
Yeah, the only premarital counseling is you got enough money to get married? Okay, I'm your guy. It's they say it's non-denominational. No, for me it's denominational. You show me your denominations. You show me your 20s,
Yeah,
your
I
50s,
got you.
your 100s.
Yeah, show me
That's
those
my denomination.
greenbacks. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Benjamin is my best friend.
Right.
But you know
Oh,
what? I give people what they pay for. I give them an experience that they will never forget. most people, if you ask them, oh, who was the person who married you? God, I don't remember. But people remember me. It's weird because I've done 7,500 weddings, so pretty much no matter where I go, I will bump into somebody who I've married.
Mm-hmm.
I was on an island in Cebu, Philippines, laying by the pool,
Nice.
and this guy comes up to me, oh my God, you did my wedding.
That's
Like,
awesome.
what the hey?
That's awesome. That's cool that they remember that as well. I mean, you've seen all different types of faces and married a bunch of people. Like you said, 75,000, approaching 100K. That is a lot
100.
of faces.
7,500.
Oh, 70.
Yeah, not 75,000,
Oh,
7,500.
got you. No, still 7,500. That is a lot of human interaction.
Right.
And you said that you're performing and everything. Did you always kind of like have that, about you, that type of personality, that performative personality, or did you have to like?
I did.
That? Okay. All right.
did. No, I was always the class clown.
Gotcha.
I always was trying to be center of attention, but I was a nerdy little kid, so I didn't know how to bring that out.
Hmm.
And then I found ways to do my outlet, and I have to say, put up a board, your wish board. I just had one thing on my wish board.
Hmm.
I want to perform every day. I want to be a performer every day of my life. And I made that dream come true.
Nowadays, on social media, there's a topic trending, and that trend is, they're very performative. They're being performative, basically saying that this influencer or whatnot is not being their authentic self. They're being, again, performative. And I like that you're saying that, yeah, like, this is what I do. I perform. This is a part of the gig. And they're basically trying to paint being performative in a negative light. You know what I mean? And I like that you're like, this is literally a part of my career. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? This is how I pay the bills. I perform and people pay to see my performance. You know what I mean? So, but
Yeah.
It sounds like that's also a part of your authentic self as well, right?
Well, I'm nothing if not authentic. In the wedding industry, I'm very well known, not just because I do so many weddings, but because I'm so out there. I wear funky suits when I go to networking events.
Mm-hmm.
I wear, just outlandish, colors and patterns. Because I've never read this book, but I know of this book. It's called The Purple Cow. I don't know if you know of this book.
No, I've never heard of that.
But basically the theory of the book is in a sea of brown cows, the purple cow stands out.
I can imagine, yeah. Okay.
So I have led my life trying to be the purple cow, to be different than every other cow out there.
Okay.
And that's helped me move ahead.
Oh, gosh. Hey, did you hear the one about the paper?
The paper?
Yeah. Did you hear about the one about the paper?
No, tell me.
It was terrible.
Oh, you just ripped that one, didn't you?
Oh, man.
I was torn whether to laugh.
This is KWEXL Radio, folks, and we are encouraging each other's shenanigans. Oh, my
I thought you were going to
goodness.
ream me on that. Ream.
Yeah, I got you. Not him explaining it. Reem, never mind.
Oh, yeah. I guess if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny, right? So.
No, so I've said that joke so many times. Not on air, not on here. Maybe you won't be surprised, but I was surprised how many people did not get it. I don't get it. It's terrible.
Oh, wow.
It's
that's a real page turner.
This guy just rolls them out. Jeez.
It's unfortunately it's a disease I have. I can't stop being punny. My brain works unlike most people. All I can think of is humor in every situation, which my wife doesn't always get. But I get it, so it makes me funny.
Yes, I'm with you. I am the funniest person I know.
They changed what I do. Now it's called dad jokes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
It used to be puns, now it's dad jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
So evolution of comedy.
There you go. Speaking of evolution of comedy and evolution of entertainment, um, so could you kind of give us some insights on how like the say yes to the dress, right? Like who actually pays for that? Like for the actual dress and all of that stuff? Is it the network? You know what I mean? Like
It's the
or
network, yeah. They usually pay for everything. They pay for the full production.
okay,
Now they try to get some of the vendors to do stuff for free, for mentions on TV.
okay,
And that's how they get some of that stuff. I mean, I've done several of those shows. I charge, but not you know, not a TV rate.
right,
Sometimes I charge my normal rate or less because hey, I want to be on TV.
right, okay,
But 90 Day Fiance was pretty cool. They paid my regular rate,
hmm,
but I had no idea what 90 Day Fiance was before I started.
okay,
Nor did I know that I was going to marry the most notorious couple ever on that show, and Fisa and George, if you followed the show. Uh, but it's amazing how what I did got completely changed in editing.
hmm. You want to expand
So
on
I
that?
mean, I did my normal fun ceremony, serious. They cut a lot of stuff out. They reshot stuff to do crying scenes. There was no crying, but
Hmm.
they reshoot stuff to do crying scenes,
I knew it.
or they redo stuff to bring drama.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I did this other reality show. It was called Spouse House,
Hmm.
where they put all these singles in the house and they wanted to see if one of them would get married. And so I did the one wedding. And so going back to what you asked me earlier, so I made that statement. So if there's anybody here who has just cause where this couple should not be united, speak now.
Hmm.
Now, that was about a 3-second bit, but they edited that where it was about a 30-second bit
Right.
showing the views of every different person in the audience going, should I say something?
Right.
Hmm.
Especially with the
They
music,
just
yeah.
pan the audience. So it was like that long,
Drawn out.
long, long
Yeah.
pause. Yeah. Yeah. So reality isn't really reality.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Reality
got
is
you.
how they edit reality.
Yep. Yep. I
So
knew it. I knew it. And when you realize that, you can kind of like see it. Like they edit it, they mix it, they chop it up, they clip it. They do what they got to do for the views.
and if it's done well, like Survivor, if it's done well, it comes off great.
Yeah.
If it's done poorly, you can see that it was being coached.
Hmm. So about Survivor as well. I don't want to. Well, okay, this is KWEXL. How much of that is really like real? Like they're not going to allow someone to get unalived or anything on that show. Like what's the
Oh no, they're really careful.
yeah
I was reading an article last night. They don't let you wander off at night because there's dangers at night, or
right
they're worried about you conspiring at night. So they keep pretty tight things on it. I mean, when this one guy got bit by a snake, they took him to the hospital immediately, and they took him off the show because it was like the most deadly snake out there. So they take precautions, absolutely.
right, and there's not like a smorgasbord of snacks and food right behind the camera or anything like that. Like they have to
It
like
is for the cameraman, but not for them.
right
Yeah.
exactly. So with that said, as far as like do they at least do they I just want to know what's real and what's not. Yeesh. Do they have water for them?
Yeah. No, they have a water tank.
Oh, okay.
They have they're not going to starve people or kill people,
Right.
but they're going to give them enough sustenance, and they can go out and they can fish and get stuff there, and they can get rice, and cook rice and
Mhm.
live off the land.
Okay.
They learn what's safe to eat and things like that.
Right. Okay.
So for the most part, that's real.
There's a show on Netflix, and basically it's it's male and female, and one of them may be 22 years old, the other may be like 54, right? And then there's all these age gaps, and they get together, they talk and everything, and ultimately they are looking for love, and age does not matter. It's just a number for them, right? and at the end of the
Right.
show they get married. Um, I forget the name of that show. However, um, I can see you being on that show, and
Yeah,
that would
they've actually reached out to me to do it,
really.
and I agreed to do, and I've had my team do a couple of those shows, um, but it's kind of wonky because they want us to violate some rules and some laws. I don't know if it was that
Mm,
show in particular, but
mm,
we're pretty strict with making sure that everything is above board. We can do a fake TV wedding as long as they sign, um,
something
you
stating
know,
that, yeah.
forms that say, look, this is just for entertainment purposes. You're not being legally married. We're just doing this as a thing. We'll do that,
Hmm.
and at that point we can do anything we want.
Right, right. You can make it as zany as drama filled or whatever. Okay, so yeah, that's very interesting. But so what you're saying is, um, the shows that you have been on, um, they have been real weddings,
Yeah,
authentic
yeah,
weddings.
they have. Yeah, the spouse house, that was a real wedding.
Mm,
That was legal.
mm, man,
We made it happen.
I heard that. What do you uh, what do you say? What is the biggest misconceptions about like what do people get wrong about finding love? You know, finding that person to connect with, finding your person.
I think the biggest. Let me turn it around. The biggest thing that I think that makes a couple is being friends first.
Hmm.
Because usually when you get into a relationship, it's all about badonk 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 smashing,
Right.
and that's where your heart gets. Ooh, it's all about the badonk badonk, right? And
Right.
and doing that, and that's not what a relationship is really based on. Because eventually that amorousness, wanes a little bit.
Hmm.
And, and so what the people who are successful are the people who can actually have a friendship first, and then that friendship develops into something. And I've seen that story after story with my couples. The ones who I know who are going to make it are the ones who were friends first, and it
Hmm.
developed into something else. I've also learned that the more money you spend on the wedding is conversely dedicated to the least amount of time you will be married.
Hmm.
Every giant wedding that I've done, they have they have been they haven't lasted long. I did a $500,000 wedding.
Hmm.
The couple lasted like 4 months.
Ah.
We've done big celebrity weddings. The most famous one I can talk about it because it was published was Britney's wedding, Britney Spears' wedding,
Okay.
and she's wonderful, she's amazing, but it's tough to be in a celebrity relationship.
Yeah, I can see that, especially when you got all these. I imagine it's like you're in a fishbowl already, right? Because you're a
Yeah,
celebrity at
yeah.
that level, and
But
then
she
you
was a
get with
wonderful
somebody.
person.
Yeah, that's
She
what
was,
I've
she,
heard. I've heard that that she's pretty down to earth and she's authentic and all of that. But media she shaved her head because she's losing her mind and all of that stuff. So, but
yeah, being a performer, and I've talked to other performers about this, and you're a performer.
absolutely.
Um, that when you are performing, it is the highest high you can have. There is no drug that will ever compete with when you're performing and you are at the apex of your performance.
Hmm.
It is the penultimate moment in your life. Conversely, when you're not performing, it's the lowest low that you can have because you want to perform. You want to be up there. And that's why a lot of performers, unfortunately, turn to the dark side, turn to the drugs, turn to the erratic behavior because they need that stimulus. I mean, it's being a professional performer. It's not easy,
Right.
and it again it tweaks your brain. But when you're doing it, it's the highest high. The challenge is people who are sitting behind a desk, who are like office workers,
Uh huh.
who don't experience that, will never get to experience that nirvana
Mm.
that performers have. I mean, there's no way typing up a memo can give you the same excitement as standing in front of 200 people
Mm-hmm.
and killing it.
Right.
But not everybody is wired to do that.
Nope.
But for
Yeah.
example, when
Go for it.
COVID hit,
Uh-huh.
and it shuttered all the weddings and all the performances, every performer I knew, every person in the wedding industry who was a performance style person, just crawled up into a ball and just like, oh my God, this is the end of my life as I know it. I can't do what I'm put on this earth to do now.
Mm-hmm.
But then we found ways of being able to do it. We found ways of being able to find our center and being able to find that feeling, maybe little pieces at a time,
Right.
until it all came back.
There you go. That marital law in California, if you and your significant other, you're not married by law, right? But you've been living with each other for 7+ years. You're legally married. Is that still a thing?
It is not.
It is not. Okay. Did they get rid of that?
It's called common law.
Common law. There
marriage,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is no longer a thing. Okay. Why did they remove that?
I don't know. I don't know whether it was I actually I'm not an attorney, so I can't really
Gotcha.
give you the details on it. But I know it's not really a thing that you're married. Maybe in some states it is, not California.
Okay. So then they got rid of that then. All right. Well, that's good, I guess, because that gives your industry more business, and
Oh yeah.
I guess that protects a lot of people, because from the little skimming the surface of research that I've done, it was common law marriage. Whether if you didn't say the I do's right in the traditional manner or whatever, making it legal, common law marriage. If you guys were to separate, then your partner could basically get a pretty good payday or get half of what you have obtained during that relationship.
Well, I guess it all depends. If you partnered up and created something together and made money together, then you'd be in sort of a business relationship. But I honestly I don't know the legalities of it these days, but I haven't really heard of that before since I've been doing this.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to ask you when that was in effect, and now that it's not, if you've seen an increase of applicants, that may be due to that no longer being a thing. But
yeah, I don't really see it. The biggest problem I see in my end of the industry, my biggest competitor, we call it Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob.
Having your Uncle Bob perform your ceremony.
Because he got his certification online at 3:00 in the morning.
Right. Exactly. But I can always say this: you can give somebody a brush, that doesn't make them a hairstylist.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, absolutely.
You can give somebody a paintbrush. Yeah, that doesn't make them an artist. You can give somebody a microphone, that doesn't make them an MC.
Yeah, absolutely.
So giving Uncle Bob, oh yeah, well we love Uncle Bob, and he's running. Well, Uncle Bob sucks. Right? Your friend who's going to do your wedding, even though he knows you, he sucks. He doesn't know how to handle a microphone. He doesn't know how to work with the other vendors.
Right.
He does. He's going to make it. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am, or get emotional,
right.
or forget to pronounce you married, or forget the rings, or forget to step out for the kiss. It's the biggest sadness that I see when people have to do this, and then it ruins their entire wedding.
Yeah. So years ago, I could not even tell you the website. Years ago, and I said that 3:00 in the morning because I was up all night one night. And so my daughter, she just turned 10. This is when she was like 1 or 2 years old. So, I mean, eons ago. And I found this website because I was like, I wonder if I can get certified, in marrying people, if it's really as easy as people say. And according to whatever website that was, I did, right? Wham, bam, right there. And I just wanted to see if I can do it. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then I just forgot all about it because I'm like, all right. So I told my boy about this, and he was all like, oh, man, that's cool, man. I'd like for you to marry me and my girl, da-da-da-da-da. And at first I'm like, all right, cool, because, that's my boy, right? And then the subject came years later again, and I was like, I just had to, keep it a whole buck with him, keep it 100% honest with him. I was like I said, honestly, dude, I was like, nah. I said, I think you should get a professional to do it. I'm not the one to do it. And he was like, bro, you my boy. I want you to do it. Da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, but I was like, I'm. If the person you want to do it is telling you like, nah, I'm not fit to do it, you should probably get a professional. You should probably get a professional. Like,
get a professional, yeah.
Yeah, like you're my boy. I love you. Of course, I'll be there. If I'm not on a ship somewhere in Singapore or whatever, I'll definitely be there. However, that's not my lane. That's definitely not my lane. But so what you're saying is and is that even a thing today? Can you still just get it online that easily? Wow.
That's how I got ordained. When I did my first wedding, my friend says, "Look, I don't know anybody to do this. You're the entertainer of all of our friends." And I had the chops because I'd already been an entertainer.
Right.
So I go, "Yeah, I'll do it." At the end of the ceremony, everybody came up to me, go, "Alan, quit your day job. This is what you need to be doing for your life.
There you go.
This is what you were meant to do."
Yeah.
And so I eventually quit my job and then made it a living.
Is there anything that you would have done differently to get to where you are now?
I only have one regret in my entire life.
Okay.
I had the opportunity. So one of my other jobs is I'm also a professional Santa Claus. And
okay, yeah, I remember seeing that.
What's a nice Jewish guy doing being a Santa Claus? I know, but I
You're
put
asking
my
too
heart
many
and soul
questions now.
I know. I had a mall for 18 years. I was beloved by my community, but I got an opportunity to go on tour with a famous musician, Marie Osmond.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted me, because they'd heard about me, they wanted me to go on tour, be the Santa on their tour, and be on stage with them. And I'm like, I can't. I got little kids. I have a mall. People expect me at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one regret I ever had, is I should have done that. And I never did.
Why is that something you regret?
Because it's just something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to have that life on the road, in the bus,
Yeah.
and it would just have been an experience. I mean, that's life is about experience. That's why I went on Jerry Springer.
What?
5 times. Yeah, I was on Jerry Springer 5 times.
Not just 3 times, 5 times. Sign me up for 2 more, Jerry. What were you doing?
So I was on the
Jerry
original.
Okay.
I was on the original one.
Yeah.
And I pitched this idea to them. I go, yeah, I have a sing and telegram business, and a guy sent me to his girlfriend to do a sing and telegram, and her and I ended up hooking up.
Okay.
And they go, oh, we love that story. Is it real? I'm like, no.
No.
They go, we can make it real. And I'm like, all right. Now I can neither confirm nor deny whether that's true or not. And after that, and so basically me and this guy ended up getting a fight on the stage and ended up ripping off each other's clothes. And we are completely naked fighting on stage.
Oh, gosh.
And at the end of the episode, the producers come up to me and go, oh my God, we love you. We want you for some other specials. And so they had me on the Christmas special as Santa, the New Year's special as Father Time, the Mardi Gras special as the King of Carnival.
Huh.
And there was one more. Oh no, it was only 4 times because I couldn't do the 5th one. That's right.
What was the 5th one?
I don't remember because I didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they loved me. They just wanted to keep me coming back. And
so you met Mr. Springer. You've met him.
I did. Well, you don't really meet him. He comes on, he does his thing, and he goes backstage.
What?
You don't really get to hang out. But I did have him do a cameo for me
for
my company. You know cameos are, right?
Of course. Yeah, he popped up.
Yeah, so I had him do one for my company meeting, and then he died. I had this terrible thing of having people do cameos for me and then they die.
Oh no, man! Hopefully, word didn't get out. Like, hey, he wants you to do a cameo. Like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, Alan, yeah, his people died.
Yeah.
No, but it got broke after a while. So.
Yeah, man, you have lived quite the life. You have beat cancer. You married the woman of your dreams, proposed to her on a hit TV series. Um, you've done it all. As far as I'm concerned, what haven't you done that you still? Is there anything that you haven't done that you still think about? You know, like, but you just end up not doing it because you're like, where I'm at today, I don't really have the time to.
I think my last thing on my bucket list is being in a feature film, having a good role in a feature film.
Okay.
I think that's my last thing on the bucket.
What time? Who would you like to work with? Who would you like to star in that film?
Anybody who'll have me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe Adam Sandler. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, Adam Sandler is like
Any of the SNL alumni. Yeah, it would be a dream.
Oh man, don't even get me started. Jim Carrey. That's one of the goats right there. Well, that being said, again, folks, this is KWEXL Radio, and I'm your host, Neon Black Chevelle, and we have Alan Katz on the line. He is hanging out with us today. With that being said, is there anything that you want to promote or anything like that? I have your information on the screen as well. So, but is there anything that you want to promote?
Just if you're looking to get married in Southern California, elope on the beach or tie the knot. My company is greatofficiants.com.
Greatofficiants.com.
And find me on social media. Follow me at greatofficiants on all social media.
There you go. You do not have to go all the way to Vegas and get some. What's your thought about that? What's your thoughts about the? Let's go to Vegas and just get it done real quick. Like, how do you feel about the Vegas?
Oh, I think it's great. I almost bought a wedding chapel there years ago. And,
almost.
For some people, it's good. It's so funny that I get lots of people from Vegas coming here to California to get married because we don't want to get married in Vegas. We don't want to be a Vegas wedding.
Right.
We'd rather get married on the beach in Cali.
Okay.
And I love doing beach weddings. I mean, there's some great little beaches here that we do private elopements at, and it's fantastic.
Agreed. No, I'll admit, SoCal, I got some pretty cool beaches, but the Bay Area is where it's at. Excuse me. But with that being said, well, sir, Alan Katz, I don't have anything else for you, sir.
Well,
I think that's.
I just want to thank you for letting me tell my story.
Man, you got it. Thanks for coming.
And engage you on some fun and regale you with my lifeness.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule. It's greatly appreciated. And I need to check out that prank panel episode. You said prank panel episode 1. So
yeah, you can actually watch my segment. It's all on my YouTube channel. So YouTube/greatofficiants.
Okay.
You can watch all 3. There's 3 segments, and you can watch them all right there.
There it is. Boom. Well, thank you very much, sir, for coming on. And that is Alan Katz, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There we go with the Elvis.
Bye-bye.
All right, sir. All right. So, again, people, today is Takeover Tuesday. Thank you for allowing me to take over your Tuesday. And again, big thanks to Mr. Alan Katz for taking over my Tuesday. Again, this is KWEXL Radio. You can find it on Instagram at KWEXL_radio or right here on YouTube, KWEXL Radio. And if you want to be on the show, you can email me at kwexlradio@gmail.com. I also have a phone number that you can hit up. It is 480-779-7083. If you don't catch me, I'm busy. I do other things outside of this. But leave a voicemail. All right? Leave a voicemail and I'll get back to you. Again, people, this is KWEXL Radio. Takeover Tuesday, and I'm your host with the most, Big Boss, Neon Black Chevelle. Thank you. And as always, stay safe, stay sharp, and use your common sense. Peace.